About 2 days ago, Mortal Kombat 13 was softly confirmed by Warner Brothers themselves and also the senior animator of Mortal Kombat, Brad Faucheux. So today, let's discuss the facts and theories about this upcoming game. Are cameos going to return? Which fan favorite characters are guaranteed? Will it still be Liu Kang's new era? And you get the idea. I'm going to answer all of those questions in today's video. I don't want to share too much, but let's just say I've got some insider info on this one. And in case you missed my previous upload, I'm also going to explain why Mortal Kombat 13 is confirmed, and sadly how Injustice 3 is very unlikely to happen, at least anytime soon. Another day means more Mortal Kombat news. I'm covering it all the time on this channel, so if you want to stay up to date, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any future videos. And then after watching, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below, or simply if you're excited for another Mortal Kombat game, because I know I am. Don't get me wrong, Injustice 3 would also be very hype. I'd be excited for that game too, possibly more excited, but also I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. So alright everyone, without any further ado, let's begin. Okay, facts and theories about Mortal Kombat 13. Let's begin with things I'm certain about. Then afterwards, I'll cover what's very likely, then less likely, and finally, what's not gonna happen whatsoever. But of course, good news first, are the cameos going to return in Mortal Kombat 13? The fast answer is no, they're not gonna come back. We know this for two reasons. Number one, NetherRealm never keeps their gimmick from a previous Mortal Kombat game. It's always something brand new. Mortal Kombat X had variations, and the run mechanic. Mortal Kombat 11 had custom movesets, along with the new meter system and a breakaway. Then Mortal Kombat 1 added the cameo characters. So yeah, every single time NetherRealm reinvents the wheel, which means the cameo characters aren't gonna come back. That's number one. But then number two, many players dislike the cameo system, and I mean vehemently, which is another big reason why Mortal Kombat 13 is not gonna have cameos. For the record though, I'm actually not against the cameo system. I think it took several balance patches to get where it needed to be, but at this point I find the cameos fun in Mortal Kombat 1, but also I understand that most people don't want them to return. So that's why it's great news that they're not going to come back. Guaranteed, I promise you, we're not going to have cameos in Mortal Kombat 13. But how about some more good news? Guaranteed characters. Jade is going to be in Mortal Kombat 13. We know this for a fact because she was meant to be in Combat Pack 3. For anyone not aware, NetherRealm had to cut Mortal Kombat 1 short because Warner Brothers said so, which is nothing new for this series. In fact, the exact same thing happened in Mortal Kombat 11, despite that game selling extremely well. In fact, Mortal Kombat 11 is one of the best-selling fighting games in history, and yet Warner Brothers still cut it short. So if I was a gambling man, I'd say the exact same thing is gonna happen with Mortal Kombat 13, but at least we know Jade is guaranteed. For Pete's sake, she got name-dropped over 5 times by several characters in Mortal Kombat 1, so yeah, she's gonna be in Mortal Kombat 13 and play a pretty big role in the story. I don't want to share too much, but let's just say I've got some insider info on this one. But real quick, while we're talking about characters, Frost. This character is very likely to be in Mortal Kombat 13 on launch day, but she's not confirmed like Jade. That's right, for now Frost is just one of my personal assumptions, and here's my reasoning. In Mortal Kombat 1, Sub-Zero became Noob Saibot, and unlike in previous timelines, Kuai Liang is Scorpion now. The guy's got fire manipulation. He's no longer a cryomancer, instead he's a pyromancer. Or in other words, we've got nobody to fill Sub-Zero's shoes. And the writer of Mortal Kombat 1 himself confirmed that every arcade ladder ending is canon, with the exception of guest characters of course. But for the main roster, these endings are canon, and guess what? Noob Saibot stayed Noob Saibot. He did not revert to Sub-Zero, which means for the sequel, we don't have a Sub-Zero character, and I'm very suspicious that NetherRealm's gonna make Frost the new Sub-Zero. Maybe not by name, although that could happen too. They are a big fan of gender swapping recently. Mortal Kombat 1 has 5 gender swapped characters, believe it or not. So Frost becoming the new Sub-Zero is not off the table. It could happen, but hopefully not. Even so, I do believe that Frost is going to be the cryomancer of Mortal Kombat 13, which some fans are definitely gonna be upset about. Here's the thing though, I'm hoping that Frost will be a good guy in Liu Kang's era. That could be interesting and make the character refreshing. However, for Jade, I think she might be a twist villain. I don't know why I feel that way, it's just in my bones. I have this feeling that Jade might be a twist villain, very similar to Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I know that movie's terrible, but NetherRealm loves mixing things up in the reboot era, so it's possible that Jade's evil in Liu Kang's era. Alright everyone, before moving on to speculation, one more fact that I'm certain of: invasions mode is gone. Like straight up, we're never gonna have invasions again, certainly not in Mortal Kombat 13. That is confirmed as a fact, it's guaranteed, which is definitely fantastic news. Don't get it twisted, I understood the vision for invasions, I kinda see what NetherRealm was going for, but they tripped at the starting line. Right on their face, complete failure, almost nobody likes invasions. For a short moment, it was fun, but immediately afterwards they ruined it with an update, made all the boss characters super difficult, it became all grindy, yeah, no longer any fun. So that's unfortunate, but the good news is we're not gonna have invasions mode ever again, or at least certainly not in Mortal Kombat 13. That much is for certain. Which means next up, it's time to discuss what's very likely. Not guaranteed, but very likely. The Crypt mode could be returning. Very, very likely, that's right. Which is fantastic news because I love the Crypt, you love the Crypt, we all love the Crypt. Now keep in mind, that doesn't mean the online store is going away, because let's be real, every modern fighting game loves to have a store, at least with the big AAA games, right? They love having their online store. It's easy money, alright? Let's just live in reality. Game developers are not gonna let go of the online stores anytime soon. So Mortal Kombat 13 is very likely to still have a store. However, alongside that, there will be a Crypt mode with tons of stuff to unlock for free. So that's good news. But once again, keep in mind, this is just very likely. It's not guaranteed, but I'd say like 85% likely the Crypt is gonna come back. Along with Tag Team. That's right, NetherRealm is heavily considering Tag Team in Mortal Kombat 13, not as the main mode, because that's very hard to balance, and also most Mortal Kombat fans do prefer the typical 1v1 combat. So that's why Tag Team is just gonna be an option, and don't forget that for Mortal Kombat 1, it was originally gonna be a full Tag Team game. If you don't believe me, data miners have full access to Tag Team mode and have made videos showcasing this unreleased mode. That's right, deep in the files of Mortal Kombat 1, there is a Tag Team mode. Now it's not finished, it's not polished, but still it's there, which proves NetherRealm was working on Tag Team at one point for Mortal Kombat 1. And they learned quite a lot in this process, so chances are it's gonna return in Mortal Kombat 13, a full Tag Team mode. It's just not gonna be the main mode, something fun on the side, in other words. Very similar to Mortal Kombat 9, and that's fantastic news because we all love Mortal Kombat 9, especially the Tag Team mode. Alright everyone, sadly that's all the news I have on very likely stuff, and we've already covered the guaranteed stuff. So next up is 50-50. Liu Kang's new era. Is it going to continue into Mortal Kombat 13? My gut says yes. In fact, if I was a gambling man, I'd put all my money on yes, because NetherRealm just rebooted the series. They spent years writing this new timeline, so chances are they're not gonna drop it after one game. It's still gonna be the setting of Mortal Kombat 13, because keep in mind that that's always been the plan. NetherRealm started this whole new timeline with the intention of keeping it going for at least 2 more games, so I think that's most likely. However, the reason I say it's a 50-50 is because Mortal Kombat 1 was so divisive among players and fans. Many of them do not like the new setting. They don't like the new changes. Mainly Hanzo not being Scorpion, there's no Sub-Zero now because Kuai Liang is Scorpion, Sector and Cyrax are women, Havoc is no longer from Chaos Realm, and you get the idea. Many of these big changes fans are not a fan of. Longtime players and veterans of the series dislike many things about the new era, and I think that shocked NetherRealm a little bit, right? It took them by surprise that so many fans hated these changes. Don't get me wrong, of course they expected some pushback, but believe me, they were not expecting this much hatred from the fan base about all these little changes they made. Well, and also some big changes, right? Like Scorpion not being Scorpion. That was a crazy choice, NetherRealm. Which is why the setting of Mortal Kombat 13 is 50-50, in my honest opinion. We're still gonna get Jade guaranteed and most likely Frost, however the setting is still up in the air because so many fans were upset about the new era and all the changes NetherRealm made to existing characters. So alright everyone, to end this video today, let's talk about what's very unlikely to happen. Mortal Kombat versus Injustice. I don't think this is very likely. And the main reason why is money, alright? The Injustice games simply don't make that much. I think Mortal Kombat versus DC actually outsold Injustice 2, or at least Injustice 1, but no, I'm pretty sure that Injustice 2 sold less less copies than Mortal Kombat vs. DC. And then if we're talking mainline Mortal Kombat games like MK11 or even Mortal Kombat 1, which underperformed, keep in mind, but still did way better than Injustice 2. So yeah, it's all about money at the end of the day, and since Paramount just bought Warner Brothers and by extension NetherRealm, chances are they want to prove their worth with a game that sells the most copies as possible, which is Mortal Kombat. Let's be real, okay? Let's live in reality. Mortal Kombat 13 would sell way better than Injustice 3, which of course makes NetherRealm look much better as a company, right? Then on top of that, like mentioned in my previous video, Warner Brothers themselves said they're going back to big franchises, okay? That's their focus going forward. And then a year or so before that, they said the exact same thing. They're focusing on 4 big franchises: Game of Thrones, Batman games, Mortal Kombat, and what was the 4th game? I'm totally blanking on it, but you get my point, right? Mortal Kombat was one of the big 4 franchises they were going to focus on, and recently after the Paramount buyout, they said the exact same thing. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 13 is most likely for that reason. Then on top of that, the senior animator of Mortal Kombat games himself said, "We're cooking," which implies he's already working on the next Mortal Kombat game, or at least is about to. Because I checked on Google and Brad Faucheux was not the senior animator for Injustice 2. Keep in mind there can sometimes be multiple senior animators, but Brad was not one of them. It looks like he's the senior animator for Mortal Kombat games only. So yeah, if he's retweeting this post from WB, then that's even more proof that Mortal Kombat 13 is the next game and not Injustice 3. Alright everyone, that's about it for me. Thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Every single like on this video helps me out a ton. Then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.